we're going to move on to our next topic, which is that popular one.
Donald Sterling.
Ooh.
Donald Sterling.
He's a stud, isn't he?
Handsome.
Yeah, right.
Handsome.
His billions have nothing to do with that.
Not at all.
You couldn't pay me enough.
One of his girlfriends just tweeted out a picture of him in his underwear, so I saw that.
Wait, we can look that up.
There you go.
All right.
Pass.
We're going to come back in just a couple of moments.
We'll leave you with that visual.
Donald Sterling controversy. Let's do a song dedicated to our next segment, the Donald Sterling thing. And we're going to play a song pertaining to that. And we're coming back with the Donald story right here on WEMFradio.
Picture. Yes, Inside Edition.
My
What do you think, Doc? Those are briefs.
My eyes.
We face the difficulties of today and tomorrow. I still have a dream.
We are Smokin in the girls' room here on WEMF Radio, and we are moving into our next topic, which is the Donald Sterling conspiracy, the Donald Sterling issue, the controversy this week. That was all over the internet. It was all over TV. It was all over everywhere in the media. We were all sitting around a little earlier talking about this, and the energy in the room got crazy. Take it away, Smokin' in the girls' room, ladies.
Wow.
Well, what did he do wrong? Just kidding.
I just want to stop having to Google all these fools, you know. I'm like, all right, crap, who's Donald Sterling? For crying out loud, here I go. Who is he? And then he's like some jerk. I'm like, great, another jerk on the planet. Awesome.
With too much money.
With way too much money, you know. And he's a racist, horrible human being.
And he has been a racist since 2000. The NBA has known since 2003. He's been cited for discrimination in housing. He had one of the largest fines levied against him by the Department of Justice for discriminating against Koreans. He said, I don't want black people on my properties because they smell bad. So the NBA has known that this man has been a racist. They have not cared. But now he has been set up by this woman. I think he was set up. Well, and all of a sudden they're caring about it because they've been exposed.
I think there are people in the NBA who did care. It's just their commissioner. They have a new commissioner after 30 years with David Stern, who I think is the one who didn't really care. Yeah. And then they have a brand new commissioner.
Yeah, Adam Silver.
Yeah, they look the other way. They look the other way.
The issue has come to surface. So it took a long time, but I think it took the new commissioner because there are a lot more black coaches, black executives in the NBA
owners.
now. Owners.
Well,
I don't know about owners, but yeah.
30 years ago, he was not paying his players, and he wasn't paying for bills that the team incurred, which is reason for the association to force him out. And 30 years ago, he told the association that he was going to sell the team, and then he didn't sell the team. Yeah. And then he also had a $2.76 million settlement. He was accused of systematically excluding blacks and Hispanics from renting property he owned. So he's a bad guy, but there's a big issue right now because the commissioners come down hard on him, but there's the issue of whether the other owners of the team are going to actually be able to force him to sell the team.
Well, if 75% of the owners agree, then they can force him to sell. And it sounds like, I don't know if there's 32 or 30 NBA teams, so let's say 30. So if 75% of the other 29 owners agree, then they can make him sell.
He's not a full owner of the team, though, right? Doesn't he own it with his wife?
Yeah, I believe so. But I think they're in the process of a divorce. So there's that, too.
But the concern, I was reading a lot of articles on it, and the concern is the owners are probably likely to force him to sell the team. But given his background and the fact 30 years ago he said he was going to sell the team, he's probably not going to sell the team. He's probably going to go to court.
He's very litigious, from what I've read.
He was a lawyer.
He is a lawyer.
And what did he do? Personal injury? I think that was where he
probably
made
bad
his fortune.
Stuff.
Personal injury, I think, is where he made his fortune. Yeah, he'll probably fight it. I mean, it could take a long time, but he's also 80 years old, and it was just announced that he has prostate cancer, so he may not make it. He may not fight it.
You know what's been bothering me about this story is the fact that even though he's married, and even though he's made these racist comments, and even though he's done so many bad things in the past, I'm hearing a lot of backlash against this woman that he was with. And she was using him, but he was using her. But she's getting a lot of the backlash.
Well, it's a very male-dominated industry, and obviously. And she's very young, and I would like to know what her purpose was talking to Barbara Walters.
The girl's working it.
Yeah,
she's working it.
Well, in her, have you seen the shield that she's been wearing?
Yeah, she said she's going to run for president.
We don't know why she's got the shield on.
It stuck out.
It did stick out, and she was saying, well, it was hiding my sadness, but she was everywhere the paparazzi was, so apparently
she's working her 15 minutes of fame.
But it was just very interesting, all the things she was saying, and how she's his right hand, arm, leg, whatever she said it was. His house of appendage. But she was the one that, took the voice of him, and then I don't know who she gave it to. I'm not sure how the media got a hold of it, but she certainly was the one that recorded him. So I don't understand it. Why did she go on with Barbara Walters and say, oh, he's really not that bad of a guy, and I don't understand the whole dynamic between the two of them.
Maybe he's paid her off.
As a matter of fact, we have a clip, right, from her, a little bit of the conversation she had between, this is V. Stiviano and Barbara Walters. So let's take a listen, see if we can cue that up and get it going. But I'm telling you, the girl's working it.
Yeah, she is.
There's a book. There's a movie.
And I would change the legislation in which would be...
No, that's not the correct clip. It should say, it should say Stiviano and Barbara.
Yeah. V. Stiviano.
Got it?
Yeah.
All right.
With Donald Sterling?
I love him.
I'm not sure that's what I asked. Are you in love?
No, I'm not in love.
You love him what? Like a friend? Like
I love him
romance?
I love him like a father figure.
He said you can sleep with them, you can bring them in, you can do whatever you want. He was not just talking about black people. He was talking about anybody you brought.
I think he was generalizing. I think the focus of the subject at that time was just black people. But I think he referred to everyone, not just black people.
Is Donald Sterling a racist?
No. I don't believe it in my heart.
Have you heard him say derogatory things about minorities in general and blacks in particular?
Absolutely.
What's the biggest misconception about you?
That I'm a mistress or a whore.
What do you think, ladies?
Well, she's a mistress. I don't know.
Is she a whore? Oh.
No. I think she is working it. It's an interesting coincidence, but she graduated from the same high school that Sterling graduated from, and Sterling's wife graduated from. There's only a 50-something year difference between their graduation dates, but they all went to Roosevelt High School in Los Angeles, East LA. But I think that she is motivated to have fame and to have money, and he was the way she could get there. Mm-hmm. And he's motivated to have an attractive young woman on his arm. So they were both using each other. But I think to label her with derogatory terms and to let him off is not fair. He's the one who decided to use her.
Mm-hmm. I think it's interesting, too, that one of his comments was, he said, I should have just paid her off. Mm-hmm. So it seems like he might have known ahead of time that this was all going to come to fruition and she was going to tell them, the media what happened, and he maybe decided not to pay her off at the time or didn't think she would do it. But it seems almost too calculated in a way.
Well, he had given her a lot of cars, and I believe there was a condo, but it came from money that was... He's still married. So there's a lawsuit that she's probably afraid of, and that's why I think she's kind of
backpedaling.
I love him, and he's not a racist. And, well,
but it's his wife, right, Rochelle, that's actually suing, and she wants back the cars, she wants back the Ferraris, 2 Bentleys, a Range Rover, there's a condo, and it's like, now this woman is married to this guy that's obviously been cheating his probably entire marriage, and the wife now sues the girlfriend.
Well,